The final sign before the rapture. The Bible tells us that this present world will be wrapped up, and there will be a new heaven and a new earth where there will be no sorrow, sickness, or death. Except this world passes away, the new world will not come. But something must happen before this takes place. We must hear the sound of the trumpet, the last trumpet. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 51 to 53. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. The angel of the Lord will blow the trumpet as Jesus appears in the sky, and we who believe in him, dead or alive, will defy the law of gravity and be caught up with him in the sky. Catching up of the saints to be with the Lord is what we call the rapture. 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 16 and 17. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we, which are alive and remain, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. The sound of the trumpet is symbolic in the Old Testament. It was used as a call for people to gather, a signal to move, or a call to war. Psalm 81 verse 3 to 5. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed, on our solemn feast day. And also in Leviticus 23 verse 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, unholy convocation. Even the strong walls of Jericho were brought down after 7 consecutive days of blowing trumpets. Joshua 6 verse 4 to 20. End-time prophecies show that the sound of a trumpet precedes the day of the Lord. Joel 2 verse 1. Blow the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord is coming, for it is at hand. The sound of the trumpet that we will hear before the rapture is also an alarm for us believers to call us into the new life that awaits us. The blowing of the trumpet will mark our transition from this world of sin into the kingdom of God, where we will receive the reward for all we have done here on earth. Our mortality will be swallowed up into immortality. Those who will be caught up in the rapture will have a new body, an eternal body, a body that does not get sick or tired, a body that does not know sin, a body that does not require a doctor. For people who have always been healthy, this is something you don't really yearn for, quite like someone who has to struggle with their health for years. But when the rapture happens in a moment, you will have a body which will never, ever get sick. On one occasion, I was teaching a Bible study regarding the rapture and the end times, and a young man asked me, what is the final sign to happen before the rapture? What is the last thing to happen right before the rapture? The young man had this misconception some cosmic event would happen before the rapture. But that's not what the Bible tells us. The Bible tells us that no one, not even Jesus Christ, knows the day or hour when this will take place, except the Father himself. Matthew 24 verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. This day will come as a surprise to the world, because there will be no prior notification apart from what we have in Scriptures. There is no final sign you should be looking for. The weather patterns are not going to change. There won't be any shooting stars in the sky. There is no cosmic shift or change that will notify us of the rapture. There is no final sign before the rapture you should be looking for. What does this tell us? We must live in the consciousness of who we are in God, because we do not know when the Son of God will appear to take us home. Our lives must be a reflection of love and holiness at all times, because we cannot tell exactly when the end time will come. Matthew 24 verse 42, Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. As we patiently wait for this day to come, there is a posture we must maintain. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 58 says, Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. We should live as Christ lived in his first coming. The Bible tells us that he went about doing good. Our lives must reflect the nature of God. We should live each passing day as though Christ would return on that day. For one moment, if you know Jesus was coming today, how different would your day be? This is how we are meant to live each day, with the expectation of his coming. Allow me to ask you some questions. If you knew the rapture was happening today, would you still not forgive the people who have wronged you? Would you commit the sins that you have committed today? My brothers and sisters, live a holy life, a life of expectation. Whether the rapture happens today or in 10 years, it does not matter. What matters is your relationship with God, your relationship with Jesus. Take a step away from attempting to predict dates and focus on your relationship with the Lord. Are you following its commandments? Are you obedient to his word? Do you love God with all your heart, with all your soul and all your being? Do you love sin more than you love God? Do you love pleasure more than you love God? In these last days, we must be discerning. We must stand by the words which have been spoken to us by God. If we are not grounded in God's knowledge and are insensitive to the Spirit of God, we will be tossed about by the wind of every new teaching. There are lots of false teachers and doctrines flying all over the place. If you do not know what the Word of God says for yourself, everything will look true to you. 1 Timothy 3 verse 13 and 14 says, But evil people and impostors will go from bad to worse as they deceive others and are themselves deceived. But as for you, continue in what you have learned and found to be true, because you know from whom you learned it. As we can see, millions of people are still walking in the darkness of this world, and we have been sent to bring them into the light. There is no better time to do the work of ministry. Go out, preach the gospel, get men saved and filled with the Holy Ghost. Let God's kingdom on earth keep advancing as we await the trumpet's sound that will take us to be with the Father forever. The finale of this whole episode in human history is explained well in John 14 verse 1 to 4. Do not let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. My Father's house has many rooms. If that were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you also may be where I am. You know the way to the place where I am going. Stop focusing on signs and trying to pinpoint a date, and focus on your relationship with Jesus. Ultimately, that is the only thing that will matter for all eternity.